Hi, I'm Saad Elbeleidy, a PhD candidate from the Mayor Lab, and I'll be discussing my work on improving teleoperation interfaces to support therapists in robot-assisted therapy. My research aims to answer 4 questions. First, what level of autonomy is appropriate for socially assistive robots? In work presented at ALT-HRI this year, we found that researchers are interested in autonomous robots, but rarely present a rationale for that choice. Autonomy is not always the right answer. When we considered level of autonomy selection guidelines, we found that at least some teleoperation was recommended for socially assistive domains. Choosing teleoperation changes the design objectives and the target users since it introduces a teleoperation interface and the teleoperator as the user. Second, how are current systems being used in robot-assisted therapy? In our IDC 2021 paper, we analyzed data from robot-assisted social skills programs delivered to autistic children. We identified 5 content themes that showed us patterns in content delivery. We found that sessions follow a specific sequence with a focus on lesson content and feedback. Some themes resulted in purely sequential verbalizations, whereas others were interactive. We found that therapists duplicate content in their organization tools, but rarely choose to repeat robot verbalizations during a given session. Most importantly, we realized that there's more to learn from users. We wanted to find out what therapists need in conducting therapy, especially when using robots. So we interviewed experts with experience operating robots and identified 5 key patterns about therapy. Therapists manage uncertainty to ensure children's emotional safety. Therapists have to adapt during sessions to customize therapy, and therapy constantly changes. While robots provide value, they also create a variety attention trade-off. And finally, collaboration exists throughout therapy. Next, we look to determine what interface capabilities can meet therapists' needs. I will focus on 2 themes of needs that we identified: documentation and evaluation. Therapists described that it is extremely important to track client documentation during a session. For that, I propose a documentation sidebar within the teleoperation interface to allow therapists to check, update, and compare documentation. Session events can be difficult to track, especially sometime after a session. For that, I propose session summary reports based on the interface's logged events and therapist-provided content metadata. In summary, we found that socially assistive robots should incorporate at least some teleoperation. By understanding therapists' usage of teleoperation interfaces and their needs in therapy, we can design teleoperation interfaces that support teleoperators. Next, I plan to evaluate these designs. I appreciate you listening, and I would love to answer your questions.